On August 31st, 2014, Jennifer Lawrence's cell phone lights up with 847 unanswered calls. Her manager's frantic voice blasts from the messages. Stay off the internet. Whatever you do, avoid the web. But curiosity wins out. She checks Twitter and finds her name dominating global trends, paired with a nude selfie she'd snapped 3 years earlier. That picture has already racked up 14 million views. Throughout Hollywood, over 100 fellow stars learn their most intimate secrets have turned into communal assets. Kate Upton's private honeymoon footage. Scarlett Johansson's shower snaps. Photos of Michaela Moron from age 17, turning countless downloaders into criminals. In just 2 days, the material floods 17,000 sites, and 4 affected individuals even try to end their lives. Yet what truly terrifies here is the simplicity. A group of 5 unremarkable guys who just fired off bogus Apple Alert emails. So, who exactly were these everyday males? And why did they choose to unleash it all? Back in November 2013, Ryan Collins hunkers down in his Lancaster basement, eyes glued to code scrolling across his Dell laptop screen. He's meticulously duplicating Apple's password recovery interface, down to every pixel, but tweaks a single detail so that real resets route info to Apple's systems. His fake one funnels it straight to Collins' data at gmail.com. Through a Romanian proxy, he snags the domain Apple Privacy Security at iCloud.com. He trials the phishing setup on his spouse's account, figuring she'll stay oblivious. Next, he imports a CSV with 4,811 celeb email lists, pulled from IMDb Pro databases, agency breaches, and paparazzi directories. His initial mark, Scarlett Johansson's aide, whose address surfaced in the 2011 Sony Pictures breach. Just 2,000 miles over in Chicago, Edward Mearsick orchestrates a similar scheme from his old kid's room. As his folks catch jeopardy below, he blasts 18 phishing messages to inboxes tied to UnitedTalent.com, WMEEntertainment.com, and CAA.com, the top Hollywood reps. He crafts subject lines echoing TMZ scoops. Urgent. Unauthorized login spotted from Moscow, Russia, right after buzz about celeb nude threats erupts. Your iCloud images could be at risk. Time to the Sony hack frenzy. Mearsick adds a clever twist, syncing each email barrage with actual data scandals to heighten stars' suspicions and boost click rates. From November 2013 through April 2014, he dispatches 4,729 such lures, snaring passwords from 312 recipients, including 30 major celebs. The crew exposed Apple's critical weakness. The Find My iPhone tool permitted endless login tries via an open API. Christopher Brandon coded a Python tool to hammer 14,000 popular passwords against star accounts at breakneck speed. If one guess flopped, it jumped to the following option, cycling through relentlessly until cracking the code. No blocks, no warnings, just nonstop blasts at 50 per second. Brandon breached Jennifer Lawrence's setup after 1,847 goes. Her passcode? Nashville 2011, nodding to the spot and time of her Hunger Games shoot. Rihanna's crumbled at 3,221 attempts. Barbados 88, her origin and birth year. Avril Lavigne picked Skater Boy, a track from her catalog. But codes were merely entry-level. Security queries opened wider gates. Childhood street? Wikipedia spilled it for stars. Mom's birth surname? Ancestry.com laid out lineages. Initial pet? Dusty 2004. MySpace entries brimmed with bio nuggets. George Garofano unearthed Kate Upton's school emblem, the Rockets, via a Melbourne Catholic alumni site. He dug up Kirsten Dunst's debut pup, Biscuit, From a 1997 press piece on Interview with the Vampire. Michaela Moron's top instructor showed in her local paper's 2006 Student Spotlight. Every response cracked another vault, another archive, another batch of snapshots destined for privacy. iCloud's sync setup turned into their cache machine. Logging in from unfamiliar gear normally pings Apple, except during backup recovery. The intruders opted for iTunes Restore from iCloud Backup, plugged in the pilfered logins, and slurped down full device data, sans any flags. Ryan Collins pulled Jennifer Lawrence's 23-gigabyte archive, packing 1,789 images and 94 clips over 3 years. The grab lasted 4 hours on his Comcast line. He streamed Netflix as forbidden visuals migrated to his storage. Her device stayed silent, no buzzes, no advisory mails. Apple's records logged it as a standard iPhone 5C restore, matching her own phone. The wild irony of this breach? These weren't elite crooks. Collins skipped VPN on 12 pulls, exposing his true IP in the logs. Mirsich funded his phishing sites via PayPal tied to his Chase checking. Garofano captured screenshots of his spoils, unwittingly embedding his Windows ID, George G. Dell, in the metadata. Christopher Brandon experimented with his password cracking software on his local school system's email account, inadvertently leaving digital footprints that traced back straight to his instructor identification code. The hackers committed just about every beginner blunder imaginable, with the sole exception of ending up in custody. For a full 18 months, authorities and the public remained oblivious to the organized campaign targeting Hollywood celebrities. So what caused these 4 unrelated intruders to abruptly begin pursuing celebrity images in such close succession, mere weeks apart? And what compelled them to stake it all on publicizing their stolen archives? On August 30th, 2014, at 9:30 p.m. within the infamous Anonib board, Forshawn's darker counterpart focused on revenge porn, the account known as Original Guy unleashed a 12-word message that sparked utter pandemonium. Quote, 0 included was a blurred preview image of Jennifer Lawrence, verified through reverse image search to be utterly unique online. The message featured a Bitcoin wallet address, and blockchain logs indicate that within 10 minutes, 0.2847 Bitcoin, equivalent to $147, poured in from 16 distinct sources. In reply, Original Guy shared a megalink holding 43 unredacted images. Right then, the situation spiraled beyond control. By 10:30 p.m., the Anonib discussion had ballooned to over 500 replies, filled with pleas, intimidation, and offers for particular stars. One bidder dangled 1,000 Bitcoin for Emma Watson material. Someone else pledged 500 for Taylor Swift shots. Original Guy went quiet for 47 minutes before unleashing the payload. A massive archive of 461 images from 60 celebrities. The file's password, ironically named infected, provided a crucial clue that FBI cryptanalysts would eventually use to pinpoint origins from specific hackers. At 11:47 p.m., an unidentified poster, presumably Original Guy via a fresh IP, shifted to Forshawn's busier boards and dumped the full trove for no charge. The profit scheme crumbled. Pandemonium erupted. Forshan moderator M_L would subsequently state under oath that he purged more than 10,000 threads that evening alone. For each one taken down, forumgoers spawned 5 replacements. They adapted quickly, resorting to Imgur albums, non-direct file shares, mega directories, and media fire packs. Once DMCA takedowns hit, they pivoted to Russian host rGhost, China's BU platform, and even decentralized swarm storage on the blockchain. One individual disguised the complete set as a Linux OS package on the Pirate Bay. Elsewhere, a user wove the images into a Minecraft map file that exploded across gaming communities. By 2 a.m. on September 1st, a Reddit contributor named Johns McJed launched a subreddit dubbed The Fappening. Mark this moment. His inaugural submission featured Jennifer Lawrence, Kate Upton, Ariana Grande, and scores more. Reddit's servers groaned under the load from the start. The community swelled by 10,000 members every hour for 6 straight hours, shattering the platform's prior benchmark, Obama's 2012 AMA, by a factor of 400%. Hosting provider Amazon Web Services logged 7.22 terabytes of data funneled to the Fappening on day 1, outpacing Wikipedia's weekly volume. A postmortem on Reddit's sysadmin blog disclosed that the subreddit hit 141 gigabytes of bandwidth per second at its zenith, necessitating urgent server scaling that racked up $47,000 in fees. In mere hours, participants forged a self-sustaining network. Threads emerged for the Fappening discussion and analysis, the Fappening archive for sorting, and the Fappening SFW for safer work shots exposing file metadata. Forum members compiled Excel sheets, logging confirmed leaks, debunked forgeries, and anticipated drops. They coded add-ons to snag fresh uploads automatically. Bots were scripted to harvest URLs and mirror content to secondary hosts. At 6:45 a.m. on September 1st, legal representative Jeffrey Steinberger, acting for Michaela Moron, fired off a pivotal notice to Reddit. Multiple images depict Mrs. when she was underage. Distribution constitutes a federal crime. Remove immediately or you will face prosecution. Platform head Yishan Wang hastily assembled a crisis video meeting. The lawyers verified the threat. A swift review uncovered images timestamped to 2013, when Ox was just 17. Distributing, sharing, or merely accessing those particular files amounted to a felony under law. Overnight, the Fappening had morphed into a child exploitation ring involving 141,000 users. In under 2 hours, Reddit quarantined all Maroney-related material and issued a blunt advisory. Any underage posts would trigger instant bans and swift FBI notifications. But the harm was irreversible. Low-end projections pegged initial 48-hour downloads at 100 million. Google Trends captured Jennifer Lawrence leaked, hitting the 100-point ceiling across 19 nations at once. Pornhub logged 41 million queries for star names that week, overwhelming their search engine. Twitter axed 3,847 profiles for circulating hot links. Still, for each purge, clever dodges proliferated, inverting spellings, emoji substitutions, or spawning invite-only Telegram groups that ballooned to 50,000 users apiece. The images secured inescapable ubiquity, copied so extensively that total eradication proved computationally unfeasible. But what prompted the disastrous choice to release it all gratis on 4chan? And how come the rest of the hackers kept quiet while their meticulous efforts spiraled into total disorder? On September 2, 2014, an urgent alert pings FBI Special Agent Jeff Yasinski's cell from the Los Angeles field office. Operation Fappening escalates to top priority status as a cyber probe touching on possible child pornography, wire fraud, and breaches of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, with penalties stacking up to a total of 127 years behind bars. Come dawn, 28 investigators spread across 6 cities dive into server records, ISP files, and Bitcoin ledger details. Apple hands over 487 gigabytes worth of login data. Google yields email headers from 1,847 profiles. Reddit forks over IP logs for all Fappening moderators and key contributors. The online manhunt kicks off in earnest. The cryptocurrency path hits a dead end. The wallet holder had laundered funds via 3 tumblers before swapping into Monero via Shapeshift. Yet the phishing messages hold a glaring vulnerability. Their headers expose the starting SMTP servers. While Apple iCloud security funnels through smtp.mail.ru, the X-originating IP points to 74.96.184.42, a Comcast home connection in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Matching it against Apple's records flags the identical address pulling down Jennifer Lawrence's iCloud archive on March 14, 2014. The account belongs to Ryan Collins, a wedded dad with 2 kids, clean slate on priors, handling IT at Lancaster General Hospital. Fast forward to October 7, 2014. FBI teams launch coordinated busts across 4 states. In Lancaster, they seize Collins's computer, still active in 12 famous iCloud sessions. His backup disk holds 18 directories tagged JLaw, Upton, Plaza, brimming with hundreds of images apiece. Surfing logs reveal 14,000 hits to iCloud.com under varied logins. His Gmail rough drafts stockpile sample phishing notes, headline things like urgent security notice or confirm your login. Grilled on his reasons, Collins shrugs. I only wanted a peek at them bare, same as anybody. He flips fast, handing over keys to locked directories that uncover images from 52 additional targets untouched by public eyes. In Chicago, agents nab Edward Mirsich at his folks' place mid-morning meal. His rig screams Pro, 3 machines, a VPN hub, and bespoke phishing code snagged off a Russian dark website for $300. His Dropbox brims with 329 categorized bins, sorted by star's moniker, wealth bracket, and hotness score from 1 to 10. Timestamps prove he hit Jennifer Lawrence's profile 147 occasions from March through August 2014. Mirsich's glaring slip-up, mailing zipped batches of pilfered pics to his own inbox, baking indelible Gmail footprints despite his wipeout tries. In custody, he owns up across the board but swears, I didn't upload a single one to the web. On my life. George Garifano's takedown packs a surprise. Connecticut troopers uncover zilch in the way of shared leaks on his gear, yet unearth 7.4 terabytes of swiped material from 241 folks, spouses of lawmakers, offspring of Fortune 500 bosses, even his old schoolmates. His notebook chronicles 2 solid years of deliberate intrusions. The case sinks in for sleuths. Garifano stands for countless unseen perps who picked up phishing tricks from those same Russian boards, zeroed in on everyday marks, and dodged the spotlight since their hits stayed hushed. The star-studded breach wasn't some outlier. It was merely the glaring peak of a colossal hidden mass. Christopher Brandon almost slips the noose. The ex-educator masked his moves sharper, leaning on open networks, funding gear with hijacked cards, and chatting via secure pipes. Still, his doozy of a blunder? He targeted his own relative by marriage as a dry run, and she tipped cops back in 2013. That filing moldered away until FBI cross-checks tie it to the celeb intrusions via identical lure formats. Upon cuffing, Brandon's desk PC at Lee Davis High School harbors cheat sheets for 200 logins, among them 15 from active pupils. His classroom days wrap with Uncle Sam indictments that land the stiffest punishment of the bunch. 34 months locked up federally, tacked on with eternal sex offender status over the minor league stuff. Come 2019, 5 guys clock a joint 96 months in the pen for the celeb capers. Collins draws 18 months alongside $75,000 in payback. Mirsich pulls 9 months. plus mandated sessions for web compulsion. Garofano cops 8 months and a forever blackout on social platforms. Herrera, reeled in afterward, takes 16 months once feds spot his 495 Pics into a neighbor's Gmail, driven by fixation. Even so, the prime suspect who unleashed the whole stash on 4chan stays a ghost. Bureau forensics peg him as an outsider to the nabbed crew, likely a traitor who scored the shots through swap circles, then torched every trace post-drop. That hacker's Bitcoin wallet remains dormant, holding $4,731 in unclaimed cryptocurrency for a full decade. In what way did a basic phishing scheme uncover the horrifying reality of widespread digital spying? And how have the victims coped with the enduring trauma of their online privacy being forever shattered? Jennifer Lawrence halts 3 days of promotional events for X-Men. Her publicist's phone is bombarded with 847 media inquiries over just 72 hours. In her FBI interview at the Los Angeles field office, surveillance video captures her trembling violently, needing 2 pauses to cope with severe panic attacks. Agent Yasinski's notes detail, quote 8. Afterward she shares with Vanity Fair, quote 9. Her description echoes the ordeal faced by all 104 verified victims. It's a form of ongoing digital assault that persists whenever anyone Googles their name and stumbles upon the images lingering on Russian sites. Apple's crisis management kicks off on September 2nd, with CEO Tim Cook issuing an urgent denial of any iCloud compromise. This was accurate on a technical level, yet intentionally deceptive. Emails exposed in 2021 show that Apple had been aware of the Find My iPhone flaw since 2012, but considered it a minor issue, unworthy of immediate repair, since no one had abused it at the time. In the 96 hours after the Fappening erupted, Apple rolls out fixes for 14 vulnerabilities, introduces limits on password guesses, requires 2-factor authentication for iCloud backups, sends notifications for backup downloads, tracks IPS for access tries, locks accounts after 5 wrong guesses, demands verification for password changes, and blocks backup restores unless done from a trusted device. The firm never links these updates to the celebrity intrusions, dismissing them as standard security upgrades. The ensuing lawsuits transform laws against revenge porn across the country. Prior to 2014, merely 3 states had targeted bans on distributing non-consensual explicit material. By 2019, 46 states enacted criminal laws, with punishments for minor offenses up to 5-year prison terms. California's SB 1255 outlaws hacking for private photos. Explicitly drawing from the Fappening and imposing required minimum sentences. The Federal Shield Act becomes law, classifying image-based sexual exploitation as a nationwide offense. Liability for online platforms shifts as well. Exemptions are carved from Section 230 for non-consensual porn, holding websites accountable for distributing pilfered personal content. Sites like Reddit, Twitter, and Facebook adopt photo DNA matching to scan and remove known explicit images on site. A tool first created for spotting child exploitation material, now adapted against adult non-consensual shares. Still, the web's recall is unbreakable. As security expert Troy Hunt reports, Fappening images persist across 17,000 unique websites in 2024. The Russian deep website deepwebporn.ru maintains full collections shielded by 7 proxies spanning 3 countries. Telegram groups boasting over 400,000 subscribers trade old-school leaks every day. AI-driven face-swapping tech renders authenticity checks futile. Any image might be genuine or fabricated. Jennifer Lawrence's pilfered pictures pop up in deepfake adult videos totaling 50 million views. Kate Upton spots her exposed photos reproduced in a Serbian publication. Michaela uncovers her minor images on a brazen Brazilian revenge porn platform, ignoring global arrest orders. The perpetrators served time behind bars, yet their crime granted the stolen content eternal life online. The emotional wounds cut far worse than any jail term. Counseling costs for 37 victims add up to $3.7 million. 4 stars try to take their own lives within the year after the breach, their identities protected in legal filings. 12 leave the industry for good. Aubrey Plaza grapples with agoraphobia, confined to her home for 3 months straight. Gabrielle Union endures PTSD episodes set off by smartphone cameras. Mary Elizabeth Winstead likens it to being killed yet forced to keep moving. These individuals surrendered more than just secrecy. They forfeited the freedom to appear in public without agonizing over who might have viewed their nudity, who archived the files, who could be eyeing them at that very instant during a chat at Starbucks, a school event, or the supermarket. The incident laid bare Silicon Valley's grand deception, that our information rests secure in the cloud. Following the Fappening, every big tech outfit faced major leaks. Yahoo saw 3 billion user accounts compromised. Equifax bared 147 million social security numbers. Facebook spilled 533 million contact numbers. Twitch leaked its full codebase. LinkedIn, Adobe, MyFitnessPal, Marriott, and Twitter all bled sensitive details impacting billions of people. The celebrity breach wasn't a fluke. It was a warning shot. These days, dark web bazaars peddle cloud extraction software for $50, ready-made phishing packages for $200, and detailed video guides to breaching iCloud that draw millions of hits prior to takedowns. The Fappening hasn't concluded. It grew into a full-fledged business. Yet one key question goes unasked. If the Fappening involved only 5 novice hackers who ended up busted, what about all the experts who slipped through the cracks? As you fixated on stars getting stripped bare by phishing scams, a much graver threat was unfolding in the shadows. Right in the year those amateurs faced jail time, skilled intruders cracked open a massive repository holding passport details, credit card info, and residential data for 500 million Voyagers, potentially including you, if you'd booked a room at a Marriott from 2014 through 2018. See how it all played out in this clip.